from the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto, it's the Twitter Game of the Week for the National Lacrosse League. I'm Andy McNamara alongside Brian Shanahan. And Shanny, first place is on the line in the East Division as we enter Week 8 in the NLL. The Toronto Rock hosting the New England Black Wolves. Let's start with the trade that happened early on in the season. Since Stephen LeBlanc went to New England in return for Sheldon Burns and also draft picks coinciding with that deal, the Rock are undefeated, and the Black Wolves have been pretty good too at 3-1.
Yeah, you know, it was one of these trades that worked well for both teams, you know, but specifically from Toronto's point of view, they liked Sheldon Burns. Yeah. They were happy to get a chance to get him. They were losing a lot in Steph LeBlanc, but with him leaving, it's opened up a couple of spots for other guys in offense to get a chance. Kieran McArdle got in the lineup. Dan Craig has got it. Sure. Rookie Dan Craig, he's played very well. So they've really liked what has happened. Sheldon Burns, from the back end, has scored 4 goals in those 3 games.
On 4 shots.
On only 4 shots, yeah, so he's shooting perfect here. But on the other end of the coin, New England's very happy with Steph LeBlanc. He's a guy that they've watched for many years. They've always liked him. I know a lot of teams in the league have liked LeBlanc, so when they got a chance to get LeBlanc, they had to go for it. They've been happy with that move. And moving Sheldon Burns out actually opened room for a high draft choice.
Sure.
Anthony Jochum, he's started to play for them, and he's played well.
Yeah, so both sides, we talked to both coaching staffs and front offices, and everybody's happy. So that means it's a great trade, right? So that's
win-win.
Perfect. Exactly, win-win. Now, another big deal for the New England Black Wolves, Aaron Bold coming over from the Saskatchewan Rush. And it's, again, one of those situations where maybe a change of scenery. Aaron Bold is a top-tier goaltender, but maybe a little stale in Saskatchewan. Boy, he's looked real good in New England.
Well, Derek Keenan from Saskatchewan really wanted Evan Kirk.
Yeah.
He was the one who called New England for the deal, and New England just sat back and listened to what they could get. And it was not that they wanted to trade Kirk, but they got Bold back. They got John LaFontaine. They got the draft choice that turned into Joker. Plus, they got another draft choice last year. So it was a deal that they couldn't say no to, and they've been very happy. And I think Bold has played great this year. Throughout the one game where they had 24 goals scored against them by Saskatchewan. But other than that, they're the best offensive team in the NLL this year if you take away that one lopsided score.
Right, and we were talking to Rock owner and GM Jamie Dawick, and he said it correctly. This East Division, Shanny, it's wide open. Like, this is Georgia struggling. You're not seeing the same swarm team that has run away with thing a year ago. This division is completely wide open. So for a chance, and when playoff implications, the first of 3 meetings between these two teams, this is a big one tonight.
Well, this is huge. Well, whoever wins this is going to be in first place at the end of the night. I know there's a lot of season left to go, and I don't expect Georgia to continue to struggle.
No, they're too good.
It's going to be fun, and I think these are 2 of the teams that are going to be fighting for first place all season long.
Yeah, and you have Rochester and Buffalo that we know what they can do, right? And they can jump up at any moment. So this is an important game. Now, when we look at the Rock, you have Nick Rose, who's been nice and steady and has really benefited with the improved defense with Sheldon Burns coming in. That defense is playing real solid.
Well, and sometimes you don't notice it so much because the offense has been so great the last 3 games, averaging 20 goals a game the last 3 games. But if you watch those games, there's points in those games where Nick Rose was playing sensational, but you know, he's just not going to be one of the stars when they're winning by 10 goals or more.
Right, and for the New England Black Wolves, in their 4 victories this season, they have held opponents to under 10 goals, 9.25 on average. So this is going to be a real battle because if New England can keep Toronto 10 or less, they're probably going to win this game.
Well, and the interesting thing, New England, it was all about improving their back end this summer and early season. They feel like they did that, and Toronto's offense has looked great the last few games. So it is a offense firing on all cylinders against a tough defense. Who's going to win that?
Well, on Twitter, you can tag us at AndyMC81, at SBDShanny. Use the hashtag NE versus TOR, and of course, hashtag NLL and at NLL on Twitter. Enjoy the game, folks. We're going to send it down to the floor. Opening face-off just minutes away. Black Wolves versus Rock. First place on the line in the East Division.
Number 20, Red Creed. Number 22, Phil Caputo. Number 23, Jalen Rogers. Number 25, Dan Craig. Number 26, Captain America, Tom Schreiber. Number 37, your captain, Brody Merrill. Number 45, Damon Edwards. Number 71, Sheldon Burns. Number 91, Bill Hostrauser. Number 93, Latrell Harris. And number 97, Reed Reinholdt. The Rock are coached by Matt Sawyer. His assistants are Blaine Manning and Bruce Codd. Fans, at this time, please give a warm TO welcome to tonight's visitors, the New England Black Wolves. Fans, please rise, remove your hats, and welcome the Rock's own Scotty Newlands for the singing of the national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in it, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Welcome to the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Lacrosse League Twitter Game of the Week, wherever you're watching worldwide. welcome. And oh my, we got a good one tonight. First place in the East Division on the line, Toronto Rock hosting the New England Black Wolves. Andy McNamara alongside Brian Shanahan. Follow us on Twitter at AndyMC81, at SBDShanny. Of course, the league at NLL. Use the hashtag NEVSTOR as we see the Toronto Argonauts bringing the Grey Cup to the center of the floor. Shanny, in our pregame, we talked about the trade that brought Sheldon Burns to Toronto and Stephen LeBlanc to New England. We chatted about the goaltending. We forgot to mention Sean Evans. All the guys done the last, 2 years, over 100 points.
The last 5 years, over 100 points.
Oh, my gosh.
Two-time MVP.
32 points this year.
Yes. Sean Evans, one of the best players in the world, and it just shows how much has been done in New England that we're starting off with a bunch of stories other than Sean Evans.
Yeah, and it's almost a situation where you're just used to Sean Evans playing at such a high level.
Yeah, and of course, again, he's one of the top scorers in the league so far. It's early on in the season with 32 points so far. But yeah, this is a guy, not a big guy, 5'8", 175 pounds, but you can't measure the size of this guy's heart the way he plays lacrosse.
Not at all. And then you counter that, the small, diminutive size and heart of Sean Evans with the 6'4", 200-pound frame of a Kevin Crowley. Like, you got that nice balance in New England.
Yeah. They seem to have everything going so far for this New England team. Between the offense, defense, the goaltending, and Sean Evans is a big part of that. He's won at every level. But you're right, Kevin Crowley, he quietly puts the ball in the net very consistently too.
Big body type, and
13 goals so far, leads his team in goals.
Well, and he's somebody, Shanny, again, who can go quiet for a quarter or two, and you almost forget about him. And then, boom, he can strike in a big way.
And you forget he actually played for the Toronto Rock for a little bit. They traded for him late a few seasons back in that 2015 run.
That's true. When we look at the goaltenders here, Aaron Bold, 4-1. Nick Rose, 3-1. They are 3-4 in save percentage in the NLL. Both these two teams, their last wins came against the Rochester Nighthawks. Yep. And here we go. Rock versus Black Wolves. Toronto in their white, blue, and red uniforms. Striking first with a shot. Nick Rose is sharp right off the bat with rookie Colton Watkinson.
And already a good face-off battle. Jay Thornbert won the face-off. Cree knocked it off him. And, turnover back to New England and a scoring chance.
And Thornbert leads the league in face-off wins, and Bradley Cree has done a nice job the last season and into this one, becoming a face-off specialist himself.
What Toronto's done well in the face-offs is even if their face-off guy doesn't necessarily win it, they're all over the other team.
Yep, scores! Hellier with a skipper from the outside. Toronto with the quick passes back and forth, and they get it on board.
And it's just a sneaky little shot from Hellier, and nobody was expecting it. And he's so good at this, and we've seen it a lot, where from the outside he just uses the screen. Everybody in the arena thought that the ball was going to move around a bit more. There was still lots of time left on the shot clock, and it is so tough to play defense when you can score on outside shots like that. Because all of a sudden the defense has to get out even more, and it opens things up.
Pinpoint accuracy for Hellier, not the hardest shot, but the accuracy is phenomenal in using that body. 10th goal of the year for Hellier. Black Wolves back on defense in black, orange, and gray unis. 1-0 Toronto here. And Toronto defeating the Black Wolves in the divisional semifinals last season.
Well, the regular season, Toronto lost both games by 1 goal, but they got their revenge in the playoffs.
In close, and nice save there by Bold on Tom Schreiber, who snuck in the back door. Schreiber retains possession, hustling around, and he spun around, and Bold was there.
I think that hit the post.
Very close, trying to catch Bold off guard, and Black Wolves a little bit on their heels to start this one.
I'm surprised they came up with a slow transition there. I thought they would have had a 3-on-2 if they came blasting out of their end.
Kevin Buchanan trying to circle around from right to left, pulls back, 14 to shoot on the shot clock. There's Stephen LeBlanc. Not used to seeing him without number 17. He's 86 for Rock fans who are watching. Oh, that's a stop by Nick Rose, who shuffled over.
Yeah, talking to the Rock staff, they wish Steph LeBlanc the best, but not necessarily tonight.
Not tonight. and Sheldon Burns as well, coming from Coach Glenn Clark.
Yeah.
Both high character guys and highly thought of from their respective clubs. 10 on the shot clock for Toronto. Trying to circle up. Shot redirected on its way to the goal. And Toronto's going to get it off the glass on the near boards. There's Schreiber. spin shot as the shot clock hits 0.
You know, and sometimes you'll see teams just throw the ball in the corner, and I like when they throw it on net because sometimes you can catch a goalie sleeping. Well, the only downside is if it's not a strong shot and you're giving it to their team, you're giving it right to the goalie. But you know, if it's down low and it's a possible rebound, it's great.
Riley O'Connor with the feed and got tangled up in his teammate's uniform there, and just too hot to handle for a moment. Now, Toronto trying to catch New England on the transition. Caputo gives to Hickey on the left wing. We'll wait for reinforcements. Toronto, you mentioned it earlier, Shanny, scoring in bunches. After a slow 0-2 start, they burst. There's Schreiber receiving. And there's the skipper as the shot clock wound down again.
And some good defense by New England on that shift. They really gave Toronto nothing.
Colton Watkinson. He's trying to split the defense. Oh, runs into a wall. Put down on his backside. Brock Sorensen, who avoided a league suspension, got an arbitrator ruling.
But
Tough when you
Watkinson, though, that you know, for a rookie and a big man, he's got some good footwork.
Yeah.
Very athletic.
Ran to a bigger man in the 6'6"
Sorensen. Yes.
Not much is going to move Brock. There's Bradley Cree rumbling up the floor. Has Edwards to his left. And 16 on the shot clock. Offense will come on the floor now. There's Hellier. Left side as Toronto's only goal. Loses it for a second, being double team crunched in the near corner.
A good recognition by New England. They saw Toronto's change was slow, and they got the double team on Hellier quickly.
Just over
he had nowhere to pass it to.
Just over 4 minutes has expired, and the first goal for the Black Wolves going to come courtesy of Kevin Buchanan, a sidearm whip.
And Kevin Buchanan historically has had great games against Toronto Rock. Twice in his career, he scored 5 goals against the Toronto Rock, and it's been with this kind of outside shot. He's a great outside shooter. He did it early in his career with Minnesota. He did it with Boston. And I'm pretty sure he's only scored 5 goals in a game twice in his career, both times against Toronto.
4th of the season on that one. You see how we kind of got low and planted that back foot to get that torque on the shot. So we're all tied up at 1, 10:45 remaining in the first quarter, 4 shots apiece. Interesting special teams battle tonight. On the penalty kill, New England ranked first, Toronto last, and both in the middle of the pack when it comes to power play. Toronto pressing, Schreiber backpedaling. Waits forced out, and that New England defense doing a nice job keeping the Rock attack at bay. And trying to split to be Kieran McArdle.
Oh, he did a good job getting through. Not much on the shot, but I thought he was going to get crunched before he squeezed through there.
He's able to turn invisible for a moment. Now the Black Wolves coming the other way. There's LeBlanc. That quick first step. We've seen so many times at the Air Canada Center. Went high on Nick Rose. Whoa, and that was a dangerous fly ball. Bradley Cree. And Toronto up close, and that ball by Damon Edwards was tipped top of the defender's stick.
Well, Edwards went for his favorite corner, but it just wasn't there.
And Cree being punished by Brock. And diving, that would have been in the crease anyway. And we will take our first break, 1-1, 9:35 remaining in the first quarter. Rock and Black Wolves. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on Twitter.
Last season, we launched NLL TV. It marked the first time that you could catch the fastest game on 2 feet from anywhere.
Dumped it backhander scores! Wow!
This season, it's back and better than ever. Just pick your package and you're good to go.
Don't get caught in the dark. Watch the National Lacrosse League live from your laptop, tablet, cell phone, and more. Get all the action, all the time.
Get 24/7 access to all the goals, all the victories, and all the action in the NLL, all at your fingertips wherever you are. Sign up for NLL TV today. Watch every game live, every archive game, behind-the-scenes content, much more via all your connected devices. Visit NLLTV.com now and subscribe. Andy McNamara alongside Brian Shanahan. Twitter game of the week here. Black Wolves and Rock tied at 1 here at the Air Canada Centre. 9:22 to go in the opening quarter. Black Wolves with possession right now, going from left to right on your screen. Kevin Buchanan with the lone goal for New England. And Rob Hellier, the only scorer for Toronto. And a nice save there by Nick Rose. Toronto moving the ball quickly out of their own end. Hustling up, Challen Rogers. Rogers went high, wide, and that was well off the mark and sails into the first row of the goal.
Yeah, that was just a big miss. That didn't come out of his stick the way he was expecting.
And there's Buchanan. He saunders over center. Right side. You got the big boy, Kevin Crowley, trying to set a pick in the high post. Ooh, too hot to handle. Toronto with the turnover. It's still loose. There's Damon Edwards. He's got some wheels. Edwards breakaway. Stoned by Aaron Bold. And Caputo coming right after him. Edwards still on the ball. Toronto not giving up after that stop.
And they're counting the 8 seconds.
Whoa.
So,
And Aaron Bold getting in the way.
well, they're actually called for the 8 seconds there. Toronto's getting the ball back. I think the crowd thought that it was the hit on the goalie or the stumbling into the goalie, but that was the 8 seconds had gone. Good pressure from the Toronto Rock.
Phenomenal pressure, not giving up there. So the Rock trying to add to their 1 goal, tied up at 1. Hellier trying again from the outside, and that ricochets off and into the crowd. It'll be Toronto ball. Here's Brett Hickey, clicks with Schreiber, cross floor pass. Hickey goes behind the net. A set up and a stop by Bold. Quick outlet pass behind the back, finds Watkinson. Watkinson, odd man rush, and Rose. He didn't quite see it, but he got enough.
It was a well-executed 2-on-1 by New England.
And LeBlanc crunched by 2 of his former teammates. Oh, Brody Merrill. Corrals in the bouncing ball. That's the rookie Watkinson. Alone again, went high, and Bold cut down that angle. Reed Reinhold denied. And Reinhold.
Aaron Bold is off to a great start for New England.
He sure is, and as is Nick Rose. And again, New England, when they've won this year, all 4 times, they've held opponents to under 10 goals. Shot right on into Bold's belly.
A holding call against New England.
All right. So we're going to get a chance to see the #1 ranked penalty kill in the Black Wolves.
New England penalty, 2 minutes, holding the stick.
That's
Joel Coyle.
And Toronto's 4th ranked power play.
Toronto's at 51%, but as you said, New England's been killing penalties at 71%, which is phenomenal.
They just keep that.
In fact, it can't stay that high.
No, it doesn't seem to be sustainable, but
No.
we'll see how that plays out tonight. Toronto creeping in, and New England trying to keep from the outside. Hickey turned and spun, and that is a phenomenal save by Aaron Bold. Toronto gets the ball right back, though.
No, that was a great play by Toronto, and so far, Bold's the best penalty killer.
Adam Jones on the floor, 2nd leading scorer in the NLL. Hickey went 5-hole, denied. And New England picks it right back up. There's Watkinson, long pass. And grabbing it is Brock, and scores, shorthander. David Brock with a bullet. 2-1 New England.
Nice play by the veteran defender who was a free agent pickup from Buffalo in the offseason. Another one of these players who's helping out their back end. Glenn Clark says they're more athletic. They got higher lacrosse IQ this year than they did in the past, and Brock is one of those guys, recognizes his only chance really is to take a shot, but kind of a shooter shot. He saw Nick Rose cheating just a little bit, and he shot in the short side. Beautiful play.
So still 1:21 on the power play for Toronto as they try to make something out of this. That is the 3rd shorthanded goal for New England this season.
And that's Brock's 4th goal of the season.
Yeah. Toronto still over a minute with the man advantage. Adam Jones receives. He waits, nifty behind the back pass, connects. Over to Jones again, to Schreiber. A little bit of space, kick save. And New England picks it back up. And 55 seconds left to kill. And Bombry dishes and heads to the bench. New England obviously taking their time, eating up as much clock as possible. 11 to shoot. Buchanan again, he'll take a offering. That's right into the stick of the Rock defender there. Hustling up the floor. That's Burns. And scores! Hey! Sheldon Burns against his old team on the power play. 2-all.
And this goal is great on a number of fronts. He intercepted that shot from New England. They took a scoring chance. He got his stick in the shot, intercepted it, runs out fast, looks around. It was a 3-on-2. Looks at his options, decides to go to the net. Good finish. That's his fifth goal and his fifth shot as a Toronto Rock.
It's still 100%.
100%
shooting percent. Wow. So that's 2-all. And yeah, that went right into the mesh of his stick. That was a clean takeaway.
Not your typical power play goal.
Not at all, but the Rock will take it. We're all tied up at 2 and back to even strength. 5:28 to go in the first quarter. Charles Harris gives it to Hellier. Little bouncer and Hickey to the left side. Hellier trying to create some space, and there's a
nice
clean pick
pick
himself. And New England coming back up the floor. It's Johnny LaFontaine. Came over in the air and bowled you.
Another new face.
Yeah. There's Stefan LeBlanc on the right wing. Well, that's a turnover one more time. Two, now 3 sloppy plays by 2 defensively sound teams. And that was dropped right back. Jones with a great pass over the top shot and saved by Aaron Bold on Challen Rogers.
Bold has looked very good in the outside shot since that first goal by Hellier 36 seconds into the game. Toronto's had many good looks from outside shots, and he's been spectacular.
The Black Wolves on the transition. Hustling up. Kevin Buchanan again. In the neutral zone, he'll wait. Shots 14-8 in favor of Toronto. Ball knocked free, almost picked up by Latrell Harris. Still loose now. And Watkinson, one of the rookies, in. Tiptoeing along that crease, behind the back beauty, but a better save by Rose.
That was a nice play, nice shot, and you know, there's definitely some luck involved on Rose's part. But part of being a goalie is just being in the right spot sometimes.
That's right, cutting down that angle. Hellier receives left side. Sidearm skipper off the mark. Retrieved by Kieran McCardle. McCardle takes it. Not a lot of oomph to the shot, but Bold saw it all the way. No traffic in front of him. 3:35 left in the first quarter. Black Wolves starting to get into position. LeBlanc gives it, sets up in the high post. We know how dangerous he can be from there. O'Connor sends it back. Sidearm shot well off the mark, and looked like a bit of a hole in the stick there on Brody Merrill. Over and back call, and we will have our second break. We're all tied up at 2. First quarter, 3:15 left. Rock and Black Wolves. You're watching the NLL on Twitter.
Join us for our Mini Miss Cheer Camp on
Check out the NLL's newest show, Relax, with Ashley Docking, Tyson Geik, and Pat Gregoire for the hottest takes on the weekend's NLL action. Visit Watch on Facebook at facebook.com/NLL Relax every Monday starting at 6 p.m. and join the conversation. Andy McNamara alongside Brian Shanahan at the ACC in Toronto, all tied up at 2 in the first quarter. 3:05 left to play. Rock with possession on the visiting New England Black Wolves. Hellier receives just inside the line. Stutter step, plants, and a shoulder stop. I don't know if Bolt saw all of it.
No, that was off the pipe.
Oh.
That hit the pipe, yeah.
Man. Hellier's release so fast. And there's Tom Schreiber. Actually, I think that was Dan Craig, actually, on that right side. And Manny gets rid of it. Give it to O'Connor. 16 left on the shot clock. Stephen LeBlanc waiting up, and O'Connor wants to give it to him, finally does. LeBlanc pushing his way through. Tries that patented swim move. One of the best in the business at that. Overhand strokes, ball knocked free. And the shot clock expires. Great job by Chapman on tying up his old teammate.
And, I don't think Sean Evans has had the ball enough, and I don't know if that's something the Rock is doing that's covering him tight enough that he's not getting it. Well, you think when New England's offense is working best, the ball's going through Evans.
Fast break here. Watkinson over the top and just ran out of real estate. Toronto cutting down the angle. Challen Rogers. Owner Jamie Dawick was telling us what a breath of fresh air Rogers has been this year, well, as well as the addition of Burns.
Yeah, well, he missed the first 2 games with injury, so he's another guy like Sheldon Burns since he's been on the team this year and 3-0.
A little more athleticism on the back end. Rob Hellier kicks it back to the point, over the top of Hickey, and New England swarming. Odd man rush. Coyle up there, elected to shoot, and it's...
Not a great shot on a 3-on-2.
No. And behind the back, offering off the mark as well. Ooh, and a hit from behind, David Brock. Toronto will bring it out of their own end here. Caputo. There's Schreiber in the neutral zone, assessing the situation. And that's a sidearm whip. Brought right back him to Jones, and now there's Caputo down to his backside and being smothered. Picking it up is New England. And they'll hustle over center. Last minute of play, 38 seconds to go in the first quarter. 17-10 shots in favor of Toronto. Still tied at 2. O'Connor near the referee face circle. 25 seconds. And 8 on the shot clock. Overhand hurl. Off and behind Stephen LeBlanc. Tried to swat just over his 6'1" frame. Reed gives it to Brody Merrill. He's directing traffic. Goalie coming out for Toronto. Rose over to the bench. Extra attacker on. 6 seconds to go. 4 seconds. Crowd coming alive at the ACC. 2 seconds. Scores! Mr. Jones makes it 3-2 with the extra man and 0.6 seconds left in the quarter.
Great play by the Rock. They got the ball 14 seconds ago. They pulled goalie Rose for the extra attacker, and so calm out here. Jones takes the shot, and he just doesn't put a lot on his shot, but he seems to pick the spots. He's got such a great overhand. More often than not, he seems to bounce it or shoot it low and makes it look effortless when he puts in those outside shots.
15th goal of the season, entered the game second in the NLL in points. And that will do it for quarter number 1. Toronto in the lead in the shot category, 18-10, and on the scoreboard, 3-2 on New England. Second quarter coming up in less than 2 minutes. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on Twitter and NLL TV.
If you're a player looking for a lightweight head that delivers power and control, string up the Under Armour Command Low.
Head over to NLLTV.com each week and see how your favorite team stacks up against the competition. We are breaking down every matchup every weekend on the NLL's feature video, The Box, with Ashley Docking and Tyson Geik, only on NLLTV.com. Back to the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, second quarter just starting up. Andy McNamara with Brian Shanahan. First place on the line in the East Division. Rock leading 3-2 in their home white, blue, and red uniforms. Blackwolves in their sharp black, orange, and gray. And the Rock coming out hot. Jones rears back and buries it. Second in a row for Adam Jones, and the fourth of the night for the Toronto Rock.
And the Rock just does a great job of taking advantage of a slow change by New England. They had the odd man, although it was 5-on-4, and Jones just steps into it, even though he's on the wrong side of the floor. You see the defender come from behind him too late. And Jones, as I mentioned earlier, such an accurate shooter. You give him chances like that, and he's so sneaky with that shot, he's going to find a hole.
And face-off kick back into New England's end.
And you know, every goalie, whenever I play, there was certain shooters, they say, don't let that guy shoot. And I got to think Aaron Bold has got to be saying that to his teammates right now. Don't let Jones take that free shot.
Don't give him a clean look, absolutely. There's Evans, and that shot was redirected by Rogers on the way to the goal. And the Black Wolves love to get Mr. Evans going in this one. Someone looks like they lost a glove. Buchanan's shot was redirected again. It's Kyle. Damon Edwards collects loose ball in the neutral zone. There's Dan Craig. Someone who has benefited in the move of Stephen LeBlanc. Am Jones, cross-floor pass, connects. Tom Schreiber. Schreiber off his back foot. Captain America with a laser. 5-2 Toronto.
That's an unbelievable shot with so little wind-up. He shoots this with his wrist because he can't get his body in it. That's not bad defense. And it just snaps his wrist. Watch this.
Oh, look at that accuracy. He was leaning backwards.
Yeah, the rookie Anthony Joachim doesn't do a bad job on him. He's all over him. He's not letting him wind up in that shot. And yes, leaning backwards, he snaps that shot with his wrist. And that's just a perfect outside shot.
And you saw that, the timing, just a half second. And New England coming right back. Nice stop, Jay Thornbert trying to catch the Rock. But Bold had the position, and the ball just looked like it almost went through him.
And that's the thing, that when the Toronto shooters get hot, they make goals out of nothing.
Yeah.
That wasn't a mistake by New England.
Not
that was
at
just
all.
a great shot.
There's Schreiber again. Pressed in. Oh, went near side. Bold spinning around.
Yeah, that got behind Bold and luckily didn't go in the net.
He turned the right way. And there's Manny. Fake to Crowley. Ball knocked loose for LeBlanc. Keeps possessions. Overhand top. No, the crease violation is the call. No goal. Toronto coming back the other way. So Sheldon Burns got a goal on his old team. Stephen LeBlanc trying to do the same against his former club. Here's Craig. Slides, puts it to the left side. Ball rattles off the glass, picked up by Watkinson. He gets it out to Bomber. New England high pass, and if he would have caught him in stride, would have been a great scoring opportunity for O'Connor. Toronto the other way now. All alone, scores! Challen Rogers on transition, 6-2, Rock.
Well, and it started with what looked like a difficult pass that was just off a bit. New England tried to throw that long bomb and it just missed. And as often happens in lacrosse, a miss in one end turns into an opportunity in the other end. And Challen Rogers, we mentioned already, like Sheldon Burns, he has been a big part of the Toronto transition since he got healthy this year.
That's right. 4 unanswered goals by Toronto.
That's Rogers' 5th of the season in his 4th game, and they threw the flag, so they're checking to see if he stepped in the crease. And you know, I only saw it live, but I was watching for that. I thought it was pretty good.
We'll get another look here.
We'll find out in a sec. He did step into the crease after, but I believe the ball was in the net. We'll find out real soon.
So Glenn Clark, head coach of the New England Black Wolves, throwing the red challenge flag. Okay, here we go. But up.
Oh,
ooh.
Maybe.
Okay,
Nope.
now we want to see the other angle if the ball was already in before that toe came down on the white at the top of the crease.
I'll tell you already. I thought this was a clean goal. I think this is going to be taken back. We'll see what happens here.
This is a good angle. Let's see.
So it's the left foot that we got to be watching.
Ball is
released. Now. Oh, that's hard to tell. I can't tell if that's a shoot.
Now, does it go in? That is real close. Now, from there, we can't see the depth. We don't know if it's come down.
No, you can almost see the black of his shoe.
Yeah.
But you can't tell if it's touching. Now, this is where they're going to try to tell whether that foot was.
Now, you saw Rogers try to slow himself down, dragging that left foot.
I think they're going to call this goal back.
Yeah.
Because on that overhead, it definitely looked like the toe had broken the line of the crease, and on this shot, it looks like the foot is flat. So I think they're going to have to call this goal back.
It looked like Rogers knew he was coming in hot. Watch that left foot drag here, trying to stop it.
Yeah. Now,
and then over the.
Yeah,
I think that's coming back.
I think so too.
Great challenge by Glenn Clark.
Yeah, to be able to see that live.
Oh.
Now the only thing going in Toronto's favor here is that the referee has to be absolutely sure that, convinced that that toe is touching, not in the air. And I think if I was the ref, I'd call that goal back. Let's see what he's going to do. He's made his mind up.
All right. Here's the call.
The shooter's foot was in the crease prior to the goal, crossing the goal line. We got no goal.
Goal called back. The Air Canada Center faithful not happy, but that is the right call.
I think so too. The fans don't care if it's the right call. They
just want the goal.
They want their call.
Exactly.
But good, credit the coaches.
Good eye. Yeah.
Sharp eye. As I said at the beginning, I thought there was no question that was a good goal.
So we'll see what the Black Wolves can do with that good challenge and try to break this 3-0 run by the Rock. Black Wolves pressuring here. Ball bounced free on the near boards. There's Buchanan, Kyle. He looks through his screen, and that ball's redirected, doesn't get to the net. Buchanan coming back to it, Burns on him. And there's O'Connor circling around, and shot clock hit 0, ran out of time. 11:50 to go in the half, 22-11 shots in favor of Toronto, and 5-2 the score for the Rock. Giving Adam Jones. Last 2 Rock goals. Dump pass to McCardle. Over to the left side. Schreiber trying to create some space. McCardle again scores! The American connection clicks on that one. And now it's 6-2 Toronto.
And that's swinging the ball back and forth. Watch how much a goalie has to move when it goes, from the right shooter all the way across the left shooter. That's a lot of room that the goalie has to move. And give McCardle credit. He shot that pretty fast and found a bit of an opening.
And Shanny, you mentioned it before. With how many weapons Toronto has, you can't edge away from a Tom Schreiber because he'll bury it. And so that prevents him from maybe thinking he'll pass it to McCardle because you can't give an inch.
Yeah, and we spoke to GM Jamie Dawick before the game, and he was pretty much saying the same thing. There's a lot of weapons, and when they're on, you really can't cheat on one guy.
No, you absolutely can't. So 6-2 the score. Just under 4 minutes has gone by in the second quarter. Evans Gives, and it was a near side shot.
And that was one of the first times that Toronto's really been beaten on the two-man game by New England.
Seth Oaks' offering went off of Creed's body.
Toronto's
for Toronto.
Done a pretty good job of frustrating Sean Evans so far, but he ran that nice pick and roll to create a scoring chance, but they made nothing of it.
As we know, Evans is one of those guys, he can score a lot in a hurry. Shoulder stop by Bold, nicely done. Rebound picked up by New England.
Yeah, it's rare you're going to keep Evans quiet.
Pass went off of a Rock defender and then bounced around. New England in the end picks it up. There's O'Connor in the neutral zone. Gives to the big man, Kevin Crowley, 6'4", 200 pounds. Plants that foot.
Big rebound.
Juicy rebound. Who's it picked up by? It's by New England. And Rose hugging that post. Keeps it out. Follow the bouncing ball. Stephen LeBlanc hustling, grinding, working, and crunched by Phil Caputo. And there's Sean Evans. Crowley scores, put all his 200 pounds behind that one. And it is 6-3 Toronto.
Yeah, and that's the guy you don't want to leave open. 6'4", 200 pounds. But Crowley was open. Watch Caputo's looking around for who his man is. He might have been jolted off that big hit earlier. Once he realizes it, it's too late. Watch all the room that Crowley has up here. Caputo standing in front of the net, realizes it, but too late.
Yeah.
And probably even running up there, he might have been a bit of a screen.
And Caputo, deceptively large, 6'3". You don't necessarily realize
no,
that.
And he made that hit just a little earlier on. I thought he was Brock Sorensen.
Yeah. Kevin Crowley. He is a monster. Under 10 minutes to go in this first half. Toronto now. Back, Rob Hellier. Kick back beyond the line. Tom Schreiber drops it back to Hellier. Clicks with Jones. Jones on the right side. Looking for some space, maybe a screen. Pick set. Sent back, 7 to shoot off the post. Saved by Steele. Toronto gets the rebound. They have a fresh 30.
Well, fortunate there for Bold. He was beat again.
There's Adam Jones. Right wing. Ryan Holt gains some space. Over to Jones. Has some room. And he gave that three-quarter shot. Terrific save by Bold in New England. Getting it out of their own end. Thornburg rumbling up the floor. Here's Buchanan. Kyle on the left wing. Over the top. Oh, he squeezing that glove hand. Was Rose, and there's Damon Edwards, full sprint. Went for the pass, it was just redirected for Hellier. He grabs it anyway.
I'm surprised that Edwards made that pass. He's usually money from there.
Well, it's Sorensen. That had to be high, over a 6-foot frame, and another 4 or 5 feet of wingspan to that. New England pressing. There's Brock. Has Sons with him, and scores! Toronto defense just kind of swirling around, and David Brock has his second of the night.
Yeah, and you got to be impressed with Brock. He's got the smarts to hold up when the chance isn't there. Then he recognizes that he does have room there. He's on the bad angle, decides I'm not taking that shot, but now a nice pick comes in. He says, I could shoot from here.
Yeah, and after a 4-0 run for Toronto, it's New England that has 2 in a row.
And some really good sniping by Brock. Both his shots have been well placed. The first one, the short side, and that one top right corner.
5th of the season. Face-off won by Bradley Creed. Toronto from his stomach, behind the back pass, finds Chapman. That was phenomenal. 25-17 shots in favor of Toronto, and that being over and back, just a miscommunication. And we will take the break. 8:06 to go in the second quarter. Toronto leads New England 6-4. You're watching the NLL on Twitter.
He's got Digby on the take, scores.
Now back over to Dane Smith with a shot. Hit the goal post inside, he scores!
Afraid you might miss out on the big stories from your favorite team? Well, not to fear, the NLL newsletter is here. All you have to do is subscribe to the new NLL newsletter, and you'll get weekly updates from everything that is happening around the league. What are you waiting for? Subscribe today.
Dixon. I am an offensive player for the Calgary Roughnecks.
Chili onto the bench. Dixon shoots and scores!
As soon as I started using the warp, my game has, been as good, if not even better than it was before I was using it at the start of the season. You don't lead the league in goal scoring for no reason without having a proper stick and having success with that. So I'm absolutely happy with my performance so far, and I know it's only going to go up from here.
Want all the latest news, interviews, and more delivered straight to your inbox? Head over to NLL.com and sign up for the NLL newsletter right now. You will not want to miss a beat. Back at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, 8:06 to go in the second quarter. 6-4, Rock leading the Black Wolves. Andy McNamara alongside Brian Shanahan. Get us on Twitter at AndyMC81, at SBDShandy, the league at NLL. And to talk about this game, use the hashtag NE versus TOR. First place on the line in the East Division. New England with possession. And David Brock, the defender, has been a sharpshooter tonight. 2 goals, including 1 shorthanded. Speaking of sharpshooters, there's Sean Evans. He gets rid of it on the right side. Evans receives back in the neutral zone. Puts it down, playing catch. Evans getting hacked. Slides right underneath. Whoa! And Sorensen just shoving him. There's a size mismatch, but it all worked out because New England went from the weak side and put it right by Bold. And that's 3 straight goals. Stephen LeBlanc with it.
Yeah, it sure worked out nicely. And what happens here is LeBlanc just gets way too much room. 2 guys come out at, I think it was Crowley up top. 2 guys come out at him. They think he's going to shoot. And that gave LeBlanc a lot of room and snaps the goal past his old buddy Nick Rose.
And they had a nice tribute to Stephen LeBlanc in the break. It was Jamie Dawkes, I believe, his first draft pick. Is that right, in 2011?
Where was he drafted? That was a good year because they got
won the Champions
Garrett
Cup.
Billings that year as well.
My first year calling games too. Stephen LeBlanc, an all-time great Toronto Rock player, now at the New England Black Wolves.
He was Rookie of the Year that year, 2010. The guy, he scored over 20 goals every year.
Yeah, Evans went for a bouncer, got off the backboards. 7 left to shoot for New England. Ground ball and 2 seconds left. They'll just chuck it. Whoa, and that was a nice offering there by Kyle Buchanan as the shot clock hit 0. LaTraw Harris, big 19-year-old. Under 7 minutes to go in the half. Toronto was up 6-2 at one point. New England has come right back. There's Dan Craig. Cross-floor pass. He receives. There's Schreiber off the left leg of Bold. Ricardo picking it up. Down low, and Ellier didn't like what he saw there angle-wise. Puts it back out to McCardle. There's Ryan Holt. To the weak side on the left, Schreiber bounces off and went off his back foot again. It's a fresh 30, Schreiber scores! Oh, and a fist pump! Captain America on fire right there! Off his own rebound, it is 7-5.
Oh, he sure is fun to watch.
Oh.
He can score goals many ways, but as he's going down, as you said, his own rebound off the board.
Boom.
And how does he get that shot on net? Because he was falling before he even started to take that shot.
A superhero effort. And look, he's got the helmet off. He's feeling it. 15th goal of the season, 2nd tonight. And remember, Shanny, he was held in check for the first 2 games. Like, this is all.
Yeah, I think he just had a couple of goals the first 2 games.
This Rock offense on fire. Hold on now. There's Kyle Buchanan for a nice bouncer, but it was wide to the left, and Toronto coming back the other way. There's Sheldon Burns. Gives in the neutral zone, heads to the bench. Adam Jones has a pair himself this evening. Jones swims around and scores. Oh, absolutely undressing the defender. We got to take another look at that.
Yeah, watch to see if there's a flag. I'm not saying he stepped in the crease, but he definitely hovered around it, and I'm sure the Glenn Clark and Tracy Koleski are watching to see if they should throw the flag. They were successful the last one, but he beats his man cleanly.
Bombery, breaking some ankles.
And then, yeah, if you give Jones that much room, he's probably going to put it in.
That was just magnificent maneuvering by Adam Jones. Hat trick for Mr. Jones there, 17th of the season.
No flag being thrown.
The NLL is a game of runs, as we know, Shanny, and Toronto is on one right now.
Well, you said it was a game of runs. 3 straight goals by New England after 1, 2, 3, 5 by Toronto, and now 2 quick ones by Toronto again.
Oakes gets rid of it to the right side, going right after Rose. Nice attempt there by Stephen LeBlanc. There on the right side. Still odd to see LeBlanc in a different uniform. Crowley on the left. Nice little swim move, went to the weak side, over the top. Back into the neutral zone. New England moving the ball well. Crowley, a little bit of space, puts his shoulder into the defender. 6 to shoot. Crowley to Oakes, and shoulder stopped by Rose. But a fresh 30 if New England gets possession, and they do.
New England's making this defense work. It's been a long shift for Toronto.
Oakes behind the back pass and got Rose moving, but he slithered over in time. And there's Rogers. New England got back, though, and Schreiber took his eye off the ball for a moment. Off the tip of his stick. And rumbling up the floor. There's LaFontaine. LaFontaine from the left, and Rose lost track of it. Toronto. Toronto knocked in their own ball. It came back, and I think Billy Hostrauser knocked it in after Rose made the initial save.
That's just tough luck for Toronto and Billy Hostrauser. Sometimes these kind of things happen, and you got to just shake it off when it does. LaFontaine.
Off his foot.
Yeah, LaFontaine.
He'll get credit.
Gets the shot. Yeah, he'll get the credit. And, you know, there's no blame on that. You just happen to be there, and there's just the angle that it came out, went off Hostrauser and back in.
So 8.
Toronto's challenging it. So I don't know. I wasn't really watching carefully if somebody in New England had stepped in the crease. Oh, we're going to get a look in a second.
Matt Sawyer throwing the challenge flag. Worked out for New England. Let's see here. So we'll get another look. If the goal counts, it would be the 6th for New England. (29-22) shots in favor of Toronto.
Now they're having a discussion about it before they even look at it.
So the flag came down. I don't know why they're not reviewing it. As it stands now, 8-5 Toronto. Now they're going into the review booth here. Winner of this one is in first in the East Division, first of 3 meetings. And we were talking to...
Now, I think if LaFontaine is in the crease when it gets kicked in... Oh, yeah.
Oh, there he is. All right.
So...
Smart challenge. Because LaFontaine shot it and
so
thought...
if I understand the rules correctly, this should not count. Now, I don't know if the discussion was because it was put in by a Toronto player and not a New England player, if that makes a difference.
Because LaFontaine, the ball was safe, so he didn't think anything of it. It goes to jog around the other side, and then it went off of Hostrauser's foot.
Yeah, and I would have thought that would have been straightforward, because there's no question that LaFontaine is in the crease before the ball goes in. Now, I don't know if was he out of the crease before the ball went in? Looks like referees figured it out pretty quickly, but to me that looks like a simple.
Get a ruling. And
went off the defender and into the net. We got a good goal.
Oh.
Okay. So good goal. Referees not too popular at the Air Canada Centre tonight, but looks like the right call.
I think it's because it went off the defender, and I'm going to double check my rule book here. Because it went off Toronto, it overrides the fact that LaFontaine
went in the crease.
Okay,
so 4:28 to go in the second quarter.
I'll check on that, though.
6th goal of the night for the New England Black Wolves. So give it to John LaFontaine, who again came over in that massive Aaron Bold deal. New England very happy to get all that they did for Evan Kirk. And that will take us to our second timeout of the second quarter. 8-6 Toronto leads New England. You're watching the NLL on the Twitter Game of the Week.
It's a great day for a roadie.
Yeah. It's a party in the U.S. Watch this.
We've got a West Coast rumble on our hands. Vancouver looking to turn a corner on the season, and what an exhilarating upset it would be if Corey Small and the boys can beat the Rush. But nothing good comes easy, and Saskatchewan sure won't be looking to take another L lying down. Vancouver at Saskatchewan, 8:30 p.m.
Get the latest news and updates from around the league by following the NLL on Twitter, Instagram at NLL, and on Snapchat at the NLL. Stay connected to what your favorite team is doing each and every day. Back to the ACC in Toronto, 4:20 remaining in the second quarter. Toronto Rock with an 8-6 lead. Rock with possession over the New England Black Wolves. Tom Schreiber off his back foot again. That was off the mark. Corralled by Adam Jones. There's a hat trick tonight. And Reed Reinhold tiptoeing along that crease with a Texas two-step, puts it by Bold, and that's the 9th goal of the evening for the Toronto Rock.
Well, Toronto's offense is still just as hot as it's been the last few games. You know, already on pace for 18 or so, but New England's defense just left Reinhold way too much room there. Second goal from down low on the crease. Jones got one a little earlier when he beat his man on defense, but Reinhold had no one to beat but goaltender Aaron Bold.
4th of the season for Reed Reinhold. And the ball goes right into the bench, and head coach Glenn Clark shows some good hand-eye coordination there with the catch. That was the 30th shot for Toronto. The Rock not letting up. Here's Kieran McArdle. Over to Hellier on the left side. Hellier scores! McArdle to Hellier, count it.
And these are the kind of goals, this one that Hellier just got demoralizing. You know, they made a mistake in the last goal, left Reinhold open. This time the defense is out high, and Hellier just beats him on a beautiful outside shot. Not much different from his first goal that he started the game. Oh my gosh, that's a nice shot. 36 seconds into the game, he scores in an outside shot. And sometimes that can be so frustrating because there was no big mistake made.
No.
It's just an excellent shot.
Similar shot, other side of the floor.
And you got to wonder if New England's even considering pulling Aaron Bold down. I'm not blaming him, but you know, Toronto has scored a lot of goals. Now sometimes you got to make that change just to shake up the team.
3:34 left in the half. Toronto's lead back to 4. But we've seen New England come back in this first half from that deficit. Crowley, he could do it right here, and Crowley starts the Black Wolves rally, and he shot it in stride on the bouncer.
In stride on the bouncer between the legs of Nick Rose. I'm sure Rose would like to have this one back, but give some credit to Crowley. You know, every time you come across a goalie's got to move. That opening opens up between the legs, and the goaltender would like to get it with his stick, but it squeezed through.
And we've seen a nice showcase of Crowley's skills here. We saw a power shot where he planted his foot on that first goal, and then this one, a little bit of shiftiness as he was on the move.
Yeah, and you see a lot, you know, all these great shooters in the NLL, you see them trying to do that when they're running across the top. They're shooting for that 5-hole.
That's a lot of core strength, too. You got to torque your body on the move. Hellier bounced back. There's Adam Jones. A little bit of space. Went high, far side, off the mark. Nearly went out of play, but Toronto grabbed it back in. And Hickey, bold, slid over. Nicely done. 2:54 left in the second quarter. New England trying for more. Lots of space. Watkinson. Rose coming over. He's on his stomach and smothers it. Rose from his knees with the outlet pass. Finds Captain Brody Merrill.
Well, nice 3-on-2 by New England, but Sean Evans found himself too far on his wrong side. Normally you want to see him take that shot, but he decided, you know, there was a man wide open, but he was on his wrong side as well.
2:28 left in the first half. Schreiber was 2 goals tonight. Quick snap pass into the belly of Jones. Went down in bold, no traffic in front. Long pass to David Brock, who's looking for the hat trick. And you got the shoulder of Rose. Brock's been the go-to today.
Yeah, Brock has been the man from that area so far this game. The first time Rose has been able to stop him on those shots.
In New England, looking to finish the half strong here. Down only by 3. There's Sean Evans, who's been held in check so far. And it'll be Toronto ball there. Chapman on the transition, and stoned by Bull, but it came through.
He was in the crease, yeah.
Crease, okay. Called back immediately. Called back right away. Chapman to Hellier. New England coming back. Crowley one more time. Boy, that had a lot of velocity.
He got a lot behind that.
It was wide though.
That was over and back.
Buck 36 to go. And Brody Merrill feeds off the bench there to Craig. Bounces out of play, about 6 rows up. Toronto ball. And a fresh 30 for Toronto. There's Jones. To the line. Schreiber, a little bit of space, puts his shoulder down on the baseline. And there's Craig, and now Schreiber here. Went for the bouncer. Ricochets off the glass and out of play in the Platinums here at the ACC. Black Wolves possession, just over a minute to play. There's Kyle Buchanan. And Stefan LeBlanc has one against his former club. Went for the screenshot, turned aside by Rose. Billy Hostrauser putting his head down, racing over center.
We're getting close to that time where we're going to see a goaltender pulled.
Snapshot, and the Black Wolves will get it back. Behind the back, nifty out pass.
And that was an early shot by Toronto because they didn't want to give New England a chance to pull their goaltender.
LaFontaine got rid of it. Edwards went 5-hole.
And
same, bit of a
same thing by New England. Both teams were, no team wants to turn the ball over with less than 30 in the shot clock. So both teams are trying to take their shots before that 30.
23 seconds left, and the shot clock 1 second behind that.
And Rose is coming.
He is out. Extra attacker coming on. Toronto scored.
They're going to have to take the shot really late because I think there's a bit of a discrepancy in the shot clock and the game clock.
1 second difference, I believe. There's Adam Jones on the right. Toronto getting in position. 4 seconds to shoot. Shoulder save. Empty cage. 1 second. And time will run out. 10-7. Rock lead the New England Black Wolves. And we'll step aside and come back with a couple minutes left before the start of the second quarter to sum up the first half and get ready for the second half. 10-7, Rock lead the Black Wolves. First place in the East Division on the line. We'll be back in about 12 minutes time for that second half. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Twitter Game of the Week.
Hard hitting and non-stop scoring from start to finish.
Today is our day.
It's different here. Our team doesn't play, we battle. And the only ice we've got is for the bruises. Our fans don't just cheer, they party. We've got a six-pack of titles, and we're thirsty for more. Don't settle for the same old games. Stick it to the ordinary. Rock versus Roughnecks, Saturday, February 3rd. Tickets at TorontoRock.com.
Last season, we launched NLL TV. It marked the first time that you could catch the fastest game on 2 feet from anywhere.
Thompson backhander scores! Wow!
This season, it's back and better than ever. Just pick your package and you're good to go.
Don't get caught in the dark. Watch the National Lacrosse League live from your laptop, tablet, cell phone, and more. Get all the action, all the time.
What drives you to find your inner purpose? Play with purpose.
Watch this.
We've got a West Coast rumble on our hands. Vancouver looking to turn a corner on the season, and what an exhilarating upset it would be if Corey Small and the boys can beat the Rush. But nothing good comes easy, and Saskatchewan sure won't be looking to take another L lying down. Vancouver at Saskatchewan, 8:30 p.m.
This is Versus Week 7. Guess what? Brand new champion. Nick Rose of the Toronto Rock with one of the best saves of the year. Cody Jamieson gets the ball up top, feeds Vitarelli, who's robbed by Rose, sliding across. Second look. One-timer? No. Rose has got it. And he's got a brand new challenger. Jordan Durston of the Buffalo Bandits. Durston gets the ball, spinorama on Tor Reinhold, and beats Evan Kirk for the goal. Perfectly executed move, and scores, and a big Buffalo Bandits comeback against the Saskatchewan Rush. Do you have Nick Rose, or do you have Jordan Durston? Fans, you know what to do. Head to NLL.com/versus to cast your vote.
If you're a player looking for a lightweight head that delivers power and control, string up the Under Armour Command Low.
In the darkest depths of the ocean, much is still unknown. Much is still left to the imagination. You think you know what awaits in shallower waters. You think you know what lurks near the surface. You think you know, but your reality, your world as you know it, is all about to change.
My name is Curtis Dixon. I am an offensive player for the Calgary Roughnecks.
Chilion to the bench. Dixon shoots and scores!
As soon as I started using the warp, my game has, been as good, if not even better, than it was before I was using it at the start of the season. You don't lead the league in goal scoring for no reason without having a proper stick and having success with that. So I'm absolutely happy with my performance so far, and I know it's only going to go up from here.
Welcome back to the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto. Andy McNamara alongside Brian Shanahan at the half. The Toronto Rock leading the New England Black Wolves 10-7. And Shanny, the third quarter is going to start up in just a couple of minutes. But the story of this game so far has been the Toronto Rock going on some runs, pulling away, but then the Black Wolves always being able to claw back.
Yeah, there's been a couple times where, it looks like Toronto's starting to pull away, but New England's just not letting it get too far. So they're still in this game. The biggest lead has been 4 goals, and a number of times Toronto's gone on runs, but they're staying close, and that's kind of a scary thing. But I guess what you would be worried about if you're New England is, other than that one game in Saskatchewan that they kind of want to throw out, New England's the most amount of goals they've allowed in a game is 11.
Yeah.
And they've got 10 against so far. So they've prided themselves on their defense, their goaltending so far this year. But, Toronto's got 10 goals and a half, so I'm sure they want to tighten up because they don't want to play a 19-18 game.
No, and they've averaged 9.25 goals per game in those 4 wins. So you have that. Now, if I were to tell you, Shanny, at the start of the game, David Brock would be outscoring Sean Evans. What would you have thought?
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that was going to happen. But the thing New England said is they've improved their defense, improved their transition game, and David Brock is one of those guys.
Yeah,
he's got a couple goals. John LaFontaine has got a goal. I know it was a bit of a funny one, went off a Toronto defender, but they are getting some goals from the back end. Their transition and defense is better than it was in the past. Maybe it's hard to see that when they got 10 goals against them, but they're pushing the offense for sure.
Right, it's been great scoring by both sides. No real defensive breakdowns. That's the one story there. So we'll turn back around and get ready for the third quarter. 10-7, Toronto Rock up on the New England Black Wolves. All right, opening face-off of the third quarter taken by the Toronto Rock for a moment, and then the New England Black Wolves came right back. The Rock in their home white, blue, and red uniforms. Black Wolves in black, orange, and gray.
And I said I'd promise why that goal, I'd look up the rules, why that goal counted that LaFontaine put in even though he ran into the crease. It was because it went off a Toronto defender. So as long as he's out of the crease before that ball crossed the line. So there's no doubt he ran through the crease after the shot. It hit a Toronto defender, went in the net, and the referee decided that LaFontaine had got out of the crease before the ball crossed the line.
There we go. All right.
Rule 67.6 in case you want to look it up.
If you want to look it up, there you go, folks. 10-7 Rock up on the Black Wolves, and Bold squeezed those pads together and got just enough. Loose ball scramble, Bombury coming up with it. Well, he did for a moment in the near corner. Squirts free, and now Manny has it. Well, no, he doesn't anymore. Reinhold here. He chucks it back. And Billy Hostrauser in the neutral zone, calling for reinforcements. And he'll head to the bench. There's Rob Hellier, who has 2 goals tonight. And Hellier scored both his goals from the outside. Adam Jones has a hat trick tonight. And can he keep that back? No. That'll be an over and back call.
And it'll be interesting to see if Toronto keeps taking the outside shots, because at times it looked like Bold was a little bit rattled when some of those outside shots went in.
Sean Evans took a shot to the face mask by Sheldon Burns. Burns might have got away with the one there. There's Stefan LeBlanc, former longtime Rock member, has a goal tonight. Picked up on turnover. Damon Edwards in a foot race. Not too many people going to catch him. O'Connor might be one of them. Odd man rush. Now it's even up. Cree, like a pinball, bouncing around and can't get the shot away. The ball trickles into the stick of Aaron Bold. Goaltenders Bold for New England and Nick Rose for Toronto. Stefan LeBlanc, stutter step, plants that foot, went for the screen, off the mark. Juicy rebound, Phil Caputo. Stumbles, catches though. New England coming back, Caputo plants that foot, and Bold stoned him cold. Kevin Buchanan gets the ball on the bounce and stride, and went for Rose, who makes a terrific stop. The goaltenders showing up and showing out the first couple minutes.
It's turning into a track meet.
Back and forth,
Whoa.
first place on the line, a turnover. There's Buchanan alone, and saved by Rose. Oh my, what a stop.
And not sure who that was that threw the ball away. I think it might have been Dan Craig. I'm surprised he didn't run back and give Nick Rose a pat.
There, and Hickey, little help from the crossbar there as the ball sails into the crowd for Aaron Bold.
So yeah, Dan Craig didn't give Nick Rose a pat in the back yet, but I'm sure he will. Anytime you make a mistake like that, you're just thrilled to see your goalie come up big.
Looked like the fan caught the ball and didn't spill his beer. Impressive. That's some hand-eye coordination.
You've got skill in the crowd and on the floor.
Hickey clicks with Schreiber. Spin move by Schreiber.
Oh, he didn't miss by much. And that we almost saw another rebound goal off a defender. That ball went off the New England defender. I think it might have been Derek Sutton's, and just almost went in.
That would have been a highlight reel all day. Shots 39-28 on Toronto's side. There's O'Connor muscling his way through. Runs out of real estate though, kicks it back. Finds Stephen LeBlanc. Right side, backhand, and scooped up by Rose. But that was a heck of a shot. And Sean Evans, he was
Sean Evans,
there.
so dangerous. I've seen him score on those backhands behind the backs
Sean
so
Evans,
many times.
Undresses the defender. Got right by Caputo using that speed. But Rose had the angle cut down.
Yeah, you can't keep giving Sean Evans those shots. He's going to take advantage of it soon.
He's going to score, and then he's going to heat up. Both Buchanan is on the floor. Kevin and Kyle. O'Connor with it right now. Gives to Kyle. Back to O'Connor. Centering up. Bouncer. As the shot clock was closing in on 0. Hit from behind on Harris. And we only have, one penalty so far this game,
Yes, one penalty in the game. Toronto scored a power play goal, and New England also scored a short-handed goal. But you're getting the feeling that Sean Evans is heating up.
Yeah. And
just 2 assists so far. And sooner or later he's going to find Twine.
Crowley has 2. Brock has 2, including a short-handed one. And Schreiber, whoa! Schreiber took a cheap shot afterwards. He does a back roll up, a hat trick for 26.
Now, I don't think the shot was as bad as it looked. Schreiber went back down, but an athletic goal, redundant when I say this guy's a great athlete, but watch this because he's off balance again. Still gets the shot of the way, and I think that was just a bit of a follow through on the hit and a nice little gymnastics roll by Schreiber, but no penalties on the play, and I don't think any were deserved.
16th goal of the season, hat trick tonight, and Schreiber's, all 3 of his goals have come in different ways. We saw a power shot, a back foot shot, and then kind of a mid-air twist there. That was 40th shot for Toronto. And another 4-goal lead for the Rock. That's the third 4-goal lead they've had, and each time New England has been able to climb back in, see if they can do so again here. Nice space. Rose goes to his knee. Almost picked up by LeBlanc. Ball got away. Toronto grabs it here. It's Challen Rogers. Chugs over center. Just over 5 minutes has expired in this third quarter. Toronto making a move. And that was an underhand rocket by Kieran McCardle. Was off the mark, though. Outlet pass finds Brock. David Brock, one of those athletic defenders added by New England. Kevin Buchanan in from behind the net. That was a beautiful setup to Evans.
And Evans, he's trying to get open, and he's coming onto the wrong side of the floor.
The Rock have locked him down, but he's starting to get that step. Wouldn't be surprised if he broke free. Pass behind McCardle. Reinhold there to pick it up, though. Back to McCardle. Oh, no, Schreiber! Captain America does it again! 4th of the night. 12-7, Toronto.
And he is not a guy you want to lose on your defense. And they lost him there. Good ball movement from the lefties. McCardle just caught the defense sleeping for a second. Schreiber caught them sleeping. McCardle makes the pass and the quick shot and gives his American teammate the high five. Of course, both Schreiber and McCardle came over last year, and what looked like at the time it was a risky play, bringing in a couple of guys who'd never played box lacrosse.
Never played. It was the American experiment, and it paid off big time, and that's the second helper from McCardle.
Yeah, and we talk about Schreiber so much. McCardle has fit in nicely.
He really has.
But yeah, Schreiber has just been a superstar.
Highlight reel, LeBlanc. The sidearm bouncer. New England recovered the rebound, got it right back. And LeBlanc with his second of the night. Stephen LeBlanc from the point breaks the run of Toronto.
And watch, LeBlanc just takes advantage of a pick here to get that step. The defenders have to switch, and then he shoots over Hostrauser to beat Nick Rose.
That was a nice setup there for New England. So 12-8, for Toronto. Stefan LeBlanc with his 9th of the season. As I said, 2nd of the night. That was the Black Wolves' 33rd shot off the faceoff. Nice faceoff battle tonight between two of the best in the business, Thornbert and Cree. Chapman took that draw. And Chapman, nice faceoff man himself. Rogers, give to Caputo.
Nice save. Foot
Kick
save.
Stop, yeah. Toronto, too far for Caputo. Couldn't tether it. Still bouncing around. There's Hickey. Fred Hickey's been kept in check tonight.
Yeah, he has. Not a point yet.
And the ball, can it stay back? What a second effort there by Dan Craig to keep it from an over and back. We will take the break. 12-8 Rock lead the Black Wolves. You're watching the NLL on the Twitter Game of the Week.
Last season, we launched NLL TV. It marked the first time that you could catch the fastest game on 2 feet from anywhere.
Thompson backhander scores! Wow!
This season, it's back and better than ever. Just pick your package and you're good to go.
Don't get caught in the dark. Watch the National Lacrosse League live from your laptop, tablet, cell phone, and more. Get all the action, all the time.
What drives you to find your inner purpose? Play with purpose.
Get 24/7 access to all the goals, all the victories, and all the action in the NLL, all at your fingertips wherever you are. Sign up for NLL TV today. Watch every live game, every archived game, behind-the-scenes content, and much more via all your connected devices. Visit NLLTV.com now and subscribe. Andy McNamara alongside Brian Shanahan. 12-8 Rock leading the New England Black Wolves here at the ACC. Winner takes possession of first place in the East Division. Follow us on Twitter at AndyMC81. At SBD Shanny in the league at NLL, and a goal! Yes, it will count. Looked like it might have been close to the crease.
It looked like he called it a goal.
No, called off. It looked like for a second he put the arms up.
You know what? I think he thought it was in, but the Rock pulled it from the side of the net. I thought it went in too. I thought this was another goal that went off the Rock defender.
I thought I saw the white.
Now having said that, I'm pretty sure there was a New England shooter. It might have been O'Connor lying in the crease at the time.
Examining.
Yeah, they're checking to see if it went through the net. Now, I'm not even sure what the original call was. I thought he put his hand up.
Yeah, I thought I saw the
to
hands
call
up
it
for
a goal. But I don't think he really made it official because then he waved it off a second later.
Okay. They are discussing. That was really close. A lot of bodies in front of Nick Rose there. You're watching us on Twitter. Welcome wherever you are all over the world. And you can join the conversation using hashtag NE versus TOR and the league at NLL on Twitter and Instagram at NLL, Snapchat at the NLL.
Now,
they're going to review it.
Yeah, but this I've never seen this where they're reviewing. They haven't made it. I don't think they made an original call. There was no flag thrown by either team. That's on the back of the net.
It's in the back. So
yeah, that didn't go in. But
that's it. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Yeah. So it's in the back.
And I saw what a lot of the New England players saw. I thought from this angle, I thought it went in.
Yeah.
Have a look here.
The ball goes in the back. Okay, that's the back.
Yeah. So
in real time,
when you see that in real time, I thought it went off Rosen into the net, and I think the referee thought so too. But it's strange. I've never seen the referee go to the video to determine if it was a goal or not without a flag being thrown. Now I think he's going to get the right call here because it looks pretty obvious from here. And
one of those bang plays.
And I guess the guys from New England who thought it went in said, "Hey, I went through the net."
After review, the ball did not cross the goal line. We got no goal.
So no goal.
Well, regardless of the fact I've never seen that done before, I think they got the call right.
The game can still show you new things, Shanny.
Yep.
And the Rock will have possession here. It'll be Rob Hellier starting it out for the Toronto end.
It's a good thing I'm talking with referee and chief Brian Lemon.
Yes.
It just told me it's an automatic review when the lead official signals a goal and a side official says it's not a goal. So thanks, Mr. Lemon.
Absolutely.
For the clarification. So they did get it right.
Brian's always there to help clear stuff up in a hurry. New England with the ball here. Manny. He's looking to get off the floor, but no one was coming to his aid. There's Kevin Buchanan. And went off the back foot. Rebound!
Oh, my!
Sean Evans was denied by Nick Rose. Oh, and now come back the other way. Caputo shrugs off the defender and stoned the other way.
Nice save. Bull just stayed with him, but that was a phenomenal save. You don't see Sean Evans miss on that opportunity. He must be getting so frustrated, and you know it's coming for him sooner or later.
Both goaltenders again making spectacular stops. Stefan LeBlanc, former Rock member, staying outside the crease.
Oh, that's good defense by Cree.
Pops it to Edwards. Edwards looking to get a first step, and he's got it, and went near side, and it was wide. Rock coming back the other way.
Thought that was over and back. Yes, the referee's called over and back. And Edwards, he went for the short side like 99% of the time. Edwards comes down there. He goes for the top right corner. I guess he doesn't want to be too predictable.
O'Connor gave it to the left wing. And Rose saw that all the way again, stopping Evans.
Okay. Evans has had 4 shots in the last 5 minutes.
He's going to keep getting the ball, too, as he should. Burns has Rogers with him. Pick set. And Burns, that's the first shot he's missed. Or that he hasn't scored on. The shooting percentage of 100 has been broken. It's over. What a run it was.
He's in a slump.
He was 5 shots, 5 goals prior to that. 12-8, Toronto leads New England.
And keep Sean Evans in mind.
Oh, yeah. O'Connor, right side, looking for some space, went for the screen. Wide. Picked up near the Toronto bench. Intercepted. And there's Caputo.
Not a good pass. 3-on-2 for Toronto. It'll turn into a 3-on-3.
Black Wolves quick getting back. And the big man, Phil Caputo. He's waiting, spinning. 16 seconds. A wave going around the Air Canada Centre here. Rock fans liking what they see. Caputo gives it over to the right side. Caputo, pass behind him. And there's Hickey. 2 on the shot clock, and they'll just put in the corner and get on back. Black Wolves begin this charge. Strolls over center.
We've not had a goal in about 9 minutes now.
There's LeBlanc. Intercepted again. Another pass. Oh, popped free, though. Sorensen was the one who picked it.
Yeah, Toronto's done a good job. Sometimes I think it's a little bit sloppy by New England making those passes through a crowd, or trying to make those passes through a crowd, but Toronto's done a good job getting their sticks in there, and they've got at least 1 goal from that play.
Trying to thread the needle one too many times. Toronto here, 6 to shoot. All alone, and Bold swung. Not sure if that got him or the post.
Yeah, that's Dan Craig, rookie Dan Craig, who's shown some pretty good sniping since he got his first shot in the NLL.
He's looked good. There's Watkinson. Planted that foot, reared back, And Rose said no thank you. We'll take the break. 4:17 to go in the third quarter. Rock lead the Black Wolves 12-8. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on the Twitter Game of the Week. Want all the latest news, interviews, and more delivered straight to your inbox? Head over to NLL.com and sign up for the NLL newsletter now. You will not want to miss a beat. Andy McNamara alongside Brian Shanahan. Action back underway here in the third quarter. 4:10 left to play. 12-8 Toronto leading the New England Black Wolves. The Rock going right at it from right to left on your screen. There's Brett Hickey. He's been held off the goal scoring sheet so far tonight. Trying to correct that. And the shot clock hits 0.
We just mentioned earlier how it seems like Sean Evans has 5 or 6 shots just in the last few minutes. He's got 7 shots so far, hasn't scored a goal.
Rare.
Only Crowley has more shots and his team's got 8. And who do you think leads all the shooters in shots today?
Is it David Brock?
No.
Oh, Lone scores! And the Black Wolves get their 9th of the night, and that goes to Kyle Buchanan.
Yeah, Kyle Buchanan sneaks in behind everybody. Evans got the assist. They were so concerned about Sean Evans. 3 guys up high. Nobody gets on Buchanan. But Tom Schreiber leaves all shooters and shots. He's got 12 shots. 4 goals.
6th goal of the season for Kyle Buchanan.
And back to within 3 goals for New England, their second straight goal.
Kevin Buchanan has 1 as well tonight. Both Buchanans on the board. There's Watkinson.
No relation, in case you're wondering.
That's right.
1 from Canada, 1 from the States.
O'Connor, right side. In behind Buchanan again. And off the boards, New England starting to press here. Off the weak side, went for the 1-touch. And Rose got over to the right post.
Yeah, Rose read that pass and stepped over quickly. There was nowhere for him to put it. 3
Rob
guys.
Hellier.
3 guys on the man.
Hellier in behind the defense, scores!
Oh.
Number 10 buries it for the lucky 13th goal of the night.
Smart play by Rob Hellier. On the slow change, New England threw 3 players at him, pressured him. He passed it off. The second he passed it off, he went to the net. It's like all 3 guys were laxed. Maybe each one of them thought one of the others was going to stay on him, but nobody was on him. Got that return feed and a quick shot.
12th of the year, hat trick on the evening for Rob Hellier So Toronto has hat tricks from Hellier and Jones and 4 by Schreiber. The big guns delivering for Toronto.
All 3 of those guys are in the top 10 in NLL scoring.
Wow. And that's even more impressive because of the slow start they had 0-2 to the season.
Yeah, like Jones is probably number 1 overall right now.
Yeah, I think he's broken through. Lots of action still to come around the NLL tonight. Hickey, near corner. Stay tuned to NLL.com and NLL TV for all the rest of the action. And the ball is tossed into the corner as the shot clock hits 0.
A late hit on Jones went down and having discussions with the New England bench.
Sean Evans saying something as Jones heads to the bench. Blackwell's trying to come back from another 4-goal deficit. It's at least the 4th time I think they've been down by 4 goals.
Yeah, Toronto stretched to 5 one time. But, as we said at the half, Toronto, seems to have control, but they're not pulling away.
No, and you can't let up on this New England team.
No.
They're so dangerous and can score in bunches, especially if Evans breaks through. There's Tom Schreiber. Can score from anywhere. Oh, that was a bullet. Off the backboard, scores! Agent 007, Dan Craig, off the rebound. Gets his first of the night.
And he's had a number of good chances. Craig had just a while ago. He got in all alone, but here, just a big rebound. And the New England defense really fell asleep. They didn't, basically what you're supposed to do on a big rebound is box out. Just forget about the ball. Make sure whoever you're covering is not getting to the net. Obviously, weren't able to do that on Craig.
The official goes down. Sheldon Burns goes and is stopped for the 2nd straight time by Aaron Bold. And often, Shanny, a play like that goes 1 or 2 ways. The big rebound, it can go bad real quick with the other team getting the rebound. This time went the way for Toronto. Kevin Buchanan circling out back in the neutral zone. Oakes coming in on the left side. Doesn't see a lane he likes. Now he goes over, and the ball is swatted down before it reaches Rose. Callan Rogers. He gets hacked down. Brody Merrill, the captain, in to help him. Alone, and Rose with a scoop swing save.
That was a big save, and that was a bit of a sloppy play by Toronto. There was only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. You don't want to turn over the ball at that point. You want to just make sure that New England can't pick it up, and New England got it cleanly, got a scoring chance.
22 seconds to go in the quarter. Toronto looking for one more. Oh, shoulder save on the stick side by Bold. Scooped up in the neutral zone, and Rose is going to the bench for the extra attacker. Helly kicked it back to the point. McCardle, nice little swim move there. Got underneath. Schreiber behind the back pass. Hickey with the screen. Bold spun around with the stop. Open cage, and the clock hits 0. The ball bounces over the net. We will step aside. 4th quarter coming up. Don't go anywhere. 14-9. Rock up on the Black Wolves. You're watching the NLL on the Twitter Game of the Week.
Watch this.
We've got a West Coast rumble on our hands. Vancouver looking to turn a corner on the season, and what an exhilarating upset it would be if Corey Small and the boys can beat the Rush. But nothing good comes easy, and Saskatchewan sure won't be looking to take another L lying down. Vancouver at Saskatchewan, 8:30 p.m.
Get the latest news and updates from around the league by following the NLL on Twitter, Instagram at NLL, and on Snapchat at the NLL. Stay connected to what your favorite team is doing each day. Back to the ACC fourth quarter coming up. The Rock leading the Black Wolves 14-9. Andy McNamara alongside Brian Shanahan. Follow us on Twitter at AndyMCD1, at SBD Shanny in the league, at NLL. Use the hashtag NE versus TOR. Rock with the ball in their home white, blue, and red uniforms. New England in their black, orange, and gray unis. 49-40, Rock leading in the shot category as well. There's Jones, short side, big rebound off the backboard, smacked back in by Hellier. Rock corralling. There's Jones. Jones, how did he score that? Went 5-hole, Bold was in position, and he found the inch of daylight. Adam Jones with his fourth.
I don't know how he put this in. Late in the shot clock, probably the only reason he took the shot. Maybe he saw something.
And Bull just looking up to the skies.
Yeah, Bull doesn't like that at all. But, you know, Jones looked away from the net like he was going to pass somewhere and just shot it short side.
And what a story Adam Jones is, Shanny. The last year getting moved to the Saskatchewan Rush on a deep team, didn't really fit in, didn't really find his groove there.
No,
Comes
he did.
to Toronto, and man, he's been a force.
You know, I thought he had an excellent playoffs, though, for Saskatchewan.
Yes.
So I think
Came on
over
late.
time he would have fit in.
Oh,
but,
sure.
Toronto's happy to have him.
No doubt. No doubt. Scars again. Brett Hickey says, I'm in this too. A rocket from 11.
Well, Brett Hickey gets his first point of the game, which is shocking. You know, the Rock get their 16th goal, and he was not a part of it. Oh, no, it's not Hickey, it's Hellier. That's Hellier's getting.
Oh, there you go. I thought I saw 11.
That's Hellier's fourth goal of the game. I think Hickey got an assist on it.
Yeah, we'll cross off. Hickey snuck into our view there. All right.
I'll tell you, by the time this game is over, I think right now Adam Jones is the top scorer in the NLL with 42 points. Schreiber's got 39. And Hellier's got to be in there too.
Wow.
Now sometimes that changes later on in the night.
Schreiber's got an 8-point evening. 16-9 coming into this game in the 4 wins. And remember, the Black Wolves are 4-1. They average giving up just 9.25 goals per game. Black Wolf, lots of time left. It'll get back in, and the ball gets around Rose, but he got just enough. And there's Burns against his old team. Sheldon Burns waits, and scores! Sheldon Burns, little stick work.
I think
and he has his second.
Calculating the percentages.
Sheldon Burns with a power play goal and an even strength one now.
He came into this game as a 100% shooter for the Toronto Rock. Missed his first time, and he had to second guess this one. Decides, no, I'll put it in.
What's he at, 50%?
Wrong side of the floor. He's looking over and decides they're just not giving him enough respect. He's got to put that shot in.
And look at head coach Matt Sawyer patting his back saying, there you go. And Stefan LeBlanc, the former member of the Rock, also has a pair on the night. Rock starting to pull away here. But don't discount this Black Wolves team. I'm telling you, with 13:30 left, they can still climb back. And that's just not me saying that. That's the truth. In behind, and Rose, swing save, goes down. He lost track of it, but Nick Rose has been sensational tonight.
And I love seeing how every goalie reacts when they have no idea where the ball is and they know it's behind them. They try to roll without putting it in.
No, they all turn to Dominic Hasek.
Yes.
Wildly flailing. Here's Kieran McCardle. Dangerous pass. Joachim didn't see it. And are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Todd Schreiber leaping through the air, does a front somersault afterwards. The Superman dive from Captain America. How many superheroes can he pull off tonight? My goodness.
And I'll tell you, if we thought New England was going to tighten up in this fourth quarter, it's been the opposite. The Rock has now scored 6 goals in a row.
This team is surging. 18th goal of the night, 18th goal of the season, 5th of the night. and 9th point for Tom Schreiber. And remember, folks, this is only his 2nd season of box lacrosse. Oh, my.
Like, we haven't played 3 minutes yet in this quarter.
No!
And Toronto has scored 4 goals in this quarter.
At the
Jones, Hallier, Burns, Schreiber in the 4th quarter. 4 goals in the first 2.5 minutes.
Man. At the half, it was 10-7 Toronto. And New England was able to climb back at each of the deficits, down by 4 goals at least 4 times. And now, well, Toronto's coming up. There's Watkinson. Goes to the bench. And this is the first of 3 meetings, so New England will get a chance for their revenge. A one-timer. And New England players down.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure who took the swing. He was in a crowd. Can't quite see the number now. Holding his head. You never like to see that trainer out on the floor. See if we can get a number here. We'll have another look at what happened. Evans with the feed. And maybe a knee on the way.
I think that's what it was.
It was a bit of a crowd, but it looks like Caputo went over. Unintentional.
That's Steph LeBlanc.
Oh. Steph LeBlanc gets a cheer from the crowd.
And I think that's what happened. As he was shooting, he was going down. And was that Caputo, you said?
I believe it was over the top.
He came up. LeBlanc went down. And I think you're right. I think it was the knee contacted LeBlanc.
Getting the ear. I think I might see blood there. I'm not 100%.
And New England's pulled Aaron Bold. They've put in Dougie Jamieson.
Who is a big human being, Shanny. We saw him in the warm-up.
6'3", 245, but this kid's a great goal. He's only 21 years old. Was playing Junior A last summer, won a Minto Cup, and I got to see him close hand. My son plays in Junior A, and
Reinhold and Jamieson up to the task early.
Oh my gosh.
They got around him. He made the save and the ball kept moving.
I hate to see that for young Jamieson getting in there now. And as I was just saying, this kid is a great goalie, and he's going to be a great NLL goalie
He'll be a
someday.
star.
Yeah. Drafted last year, and this is just unlucky.
So you see, spinning around, went off the post and then off, and I think the New England player knocked it in.
And I'm not so sure that didn't happen. That the New England player trying to make sure the ball doesn't roll in, inadvertently knock it in themselves.
Might have been LaFontaine kind of trying to dig it out. That is the 19th goal of Toronto tonight.
Well, they threw the flag, so
we'll see.
So I believe they think that it was Reinhold that took the shot.
Yes. He was being pushed while he got rid of it.
If he was in the crease at the time, the ball. No, they're not.
Oh. All right.
Well, how many flags did New England throw?
At least 2.
You're
they
allowed,
won 1.
I think if you're correct on both of them, you get a bonus flag.
They won 1 of them. Shot did not get through. Brody Merrill scooping it up. Loose ball scramble.
Yeah, you get 2 flags, 2 challenges, and if you're correct on both challenges, you get a 3rd.
And there's Sean Evans. Backpedaling. Still without a goal for the captain. Very surprising. And a credit to Toronto's defense. Merrill scoops it up again. The ball not getting through that Toronto wall. As potent as the offense has been, the defense and goaltending, a little underrated. And they've been phenomenal tonight. 11:08 to play in the 4th. Diving. And Jamieson with the save. And it seems like this 4th quarter has been going on a lot longer than 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And Crowley went for it. The ball bounced over the cage. Burns with a bounce pass. Edwards trying to take it. Trickles over to him. Runs over center. We'll wait in the neutral zone here. 54 shots by Toronto tonight.
Yeah, and you mentioned 5 goals in the 4th quarter. And they scored the 2 last goals in the 3rd quarter.
Sidearm shot. Stopped by Jamieson. There's Schreiber. Left wing down low. Still a lot of game left to play. Jones and 5-hole, count it. Mr. Jones, one more time. Give him 5 on the night. Wow.
And you know, it doesn't look like a good goal from where he's shooting, but Jones does it so often that I don't want to fault the goaltender on this. Jones, you rarely see him take an underhand or a sidearm. Everything's overhand. And it's not the hardest shot. It just finds the spots.
No, and Jones, going over him, just 5'9", but a thick 195. And boy, what an addition to an already strong Rock offense. That is the 20th goal for
And we've been saying Toronto's averaged 20 goals, over 20 goals a game now.
That's
last 4 games.
That's crazy.
And we've been saying it's not sustainable, but that's 4 in a row.
That's 4 in a row. The challenge is going to be when they do get stopped, can they overcome and score in the clutch? But someone has to stop them first. And it's not New England tonight. Ostrauser gets it to Latrell Harris. The young speedster gives to Burns. Burns looking for the hat trick against his old team. Burns and a toe stopped by Jamieson. Captain Brody Merrill. 9:30 to go.
And obviously no sense of urgency by Toronto now. They'll spread out the ball. And sometimes that's when you get more scoring opportunities, when the defense chases. Now,
right.
New England's not playing again this weekend, so it's not like they have to rest or conserve or anything. When we saw Rochester a couple weeks ago, they were playing on a Friday here and then a Saturday the next day. So
near side shot sails up into the last row of goals here at the Air Canada Centre. And we will take the first time out of the fourth quarter. Toronto running away with things 20-9 on the Black Wolves. You're watching the NLL on the Twitter Game of the Week.
Got Digby on the take, scores.
Now back over to Dane Smith with a shot. Hit the goal post inside, he scores!
Afraid you might miss out on the big stories from your favorite team? Well, not to fear, the NLL newsletter is here. All you have to do is subscribe to the new NLL newsletter, and you'll get weekly updates from everything that is happening around the league. What are you waiting for? Subscribe today.
My name is Curtis Dixon. I am an offensive player for the Calgary Roughnecks.
Chilion to the bench. Dixon shoots and scores!
As soon as I started using the warp, my game has, been as good, if not even better, than it was before I was using it at the start of the season. You don't lead the league in goal scoring for no reason without having a proper stick and having success with that. So I'm absolutely happy with my performance so far, and I know it's only going to go up from here.
If you're a player looking for a lightweight head that delivers power and control, string up the Under Armour Command Low.
Back to the ACC in downtown Toronto. The Rock leading the visiting New England Black Wolves 20-9. Andy McNamara alongside Brian Shanahan here in the Twitter Game of the Week. Follow us on Twitter at AndyMC81, at SBD Shanny, the league at NLL, and join the conversation for this game using hashtag NE versus TOR. Black Wolves going from right to left on your screen. Sean Evans with possession. The captain without a goal so far tonight.
Yeah, Sean Evans, 3 assists, no goals. On the other hand, Schreiber, 11 points.
11.
5 goals, 6 assists. Jones, 5 goals, 4 assists for 9 points. Hellier, 4 and 4.
4 and 4 behind the back shot. Great save by Rose, but terrific effort there by Crowley. And now Toronto slow things down. Again, no urgency. Shanny, at this point in the game, Toronto's up by this much. If you're Matt Sawyer, are you trying to run different plays here? What are you trying to do?
No, I think you're just trying to use up shot clock. You want to play good defense. You want to continue focusing on the defense. Don't get lazy in that end. Sometimes, that can happen when you got a big lead.
Going near side. And
I think generally we're going to see them spread out. If something opens up, they'll take it. Otherwise, they'll go for the late shot. But they're going to try to give – they would rather smother New England, give New England nothing.
Right.
Sawyer doesn't care if Toronto doesn't score another goal.
Right, and Doug Jamieson coming out, penalty
And this has been a pretty penalty-free game. There's been one penalty. I think Joel Coyle got a penalty early in the game for holding. And we're going to see the second penalty of the game. I think it's Cree.
And Cree, his stick went
I think Cree's
flying.
arguing that it should be New England going because
from looking here, it looked like he was the one tied up, and he was throwing his hands up like, I'm not touching anybody.
well, Cree gets 2 minutes for holding. And you know, the other thing at this point in the game, you don't want to argue too much if you're Cree. Maybe you think it wasn't fair. He held my stick. I don't know. But nobody's going to have a ton of sympathy with you when you're winning 29. You know, if the break doesn't go your way, nobody cares.
Right. So, it is the Black Wolves on the power play. Toronto's penalty kill is
this is
ranked
where
last.
Evans is going to get a goal.
You can feel it.
You know,
A one-time swing.
it would be a feather in their cap if Toronto could stop Sean Evans from scoring a goal. I mean, any time any team in the NLL can shut him out, that's pretty huge.
Oh,
So
sure.
those are the kind of things they might be looking for now. They don't care about scoring more goals.
And there's Evans, a little bit of room. Dump pass across. Rose with another save. What a night for Nick Rose. First of 3 meetings. And of course, Shanny, with tiebreakers and playoff implications in the works later on, Toronto wants to get in the head of New England. You don't want to give them anything.
Every time you play a team in your division, you want to get the win. I mean that's obvious, but you know, you want to win that season series against each team in your division, any team you could end up tied with.
Hickey went near side, and Jamieson, who replaced the starter Aaron Bold, does a nice job. But also, Shanny, you want to finish strong. You don't want to give New England any thought like, hey, we did okay near the end, and give them any confidence the next time you meet up.
Yeah, no, absolutely right.
46 seconds to go in the power play for New England. Got tangled up in Damon Edwards, it looked like. Toronto coming away with it. Brody Merrill drops it out back to Edwards. 6:20 to go in the game. 30 left to kill. Dan Craig going for the shorthander. David Brock has a shorthanded goal for the Black Wolves tonight. So limited special teams opportunities, but lots of action on it. Whoa, and a big, nasty chop.
Yeah, that was good defensive play, and Evans just didn't see it coming.
And shorthanded opportunity again.
And that would have made it perfect because Phil Caputo stole that ball from Evans. It would have made it a perfect highlight play to finish it off with a goal.
6'3" versus 5'8". Sean Evans has the ball right now, though, in the left wing. Back to even strength. Penalty decree has expired. Coming across, and boy, Rose looks near unstoppable right now. Dropped over, dangerous pass in the Rocks end, but Brody Merrill swerves his way out of trouble. Evans stuck on the floor here.
You know, I think at this point of the game, too, if you're Glenn Clark, you're frustrated, and you know your players probably are, but you don't want...
In the back door, and Hickey powering his way through the defense.
You don't want them doing anything stupid. You want them finishing hard, but you know Evans has to be so frustrated.
Oh.
He can be hot-tempered at times.
And a big stop.
You're going to need
again.
these guys, especially Evans, for the next game.
Oh, absolutely. And you want to get Evans one, but you also don't want to get into any injury trouble or anything along those lines. Under 5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. 11-goal lead for Toronto. Adam Jones in the neutral zone. Sent the other way. Quick sidearm snap. Finds Ricardo. A little dance move there. And that looked close. Real close on to Jamieson. And that will take us to the second and final break of the fourth quarter. 20-9, Rock lead the Black Wolves. You're watching the NLL on the Twitter Game of the Week.
It's different here. Our team doesn't play, we battle. And the only ice we've got is for the bruises. Our fans don't just cheer, they party. We've got a 6-pack of titles, and we're thirsty for more. Don't settle for the same old games. Stick it to the ordinary. Rock versus Roughnecks, Saturday, February 3rd. Tickets at TorontoRock.com.
Back to the action here in the fourth quarter at the ACC. Nice crowd here tonight to see the home Toronto Rock put the hurt on the New England Black Wolves 20-9. And Shanny, this was close and within reach for the Black Wolves within 3 quarters. And then the Rock just pulled away in the fourth, chasing starter Aaron Bold from the net and putting in Doug Jamieson.
Yeah, right now Toronto's on an 8-0 run since late in the third quarter.
And Shanny, you said the Rock, what is it, over the last 4 games are averaging 20 goals?
Yeah, I think they were just over 20 coming into this game.
Wild. Rock with possession here. Going from left to right on your screen. Rock would take first place in the East Division unless the Black Wolves pull off a miracle.
A miracle of all miracles.
Yes. Never say never, but.
Never say never. I saw Buffalo go into Saskatchewan and get a win last week.
In overtime. None of us picked that one.
No. And not only that, they were down 6-0 early in the game.
Quarter. Yeah. First quarter, shut out 6-0 and they came back.
I think it was 11-6 or 11-5 in the third quarter. That was a shocking finish, but just proof that anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Unlikely, but anything can happen. Rock 62-52 up in the shot category. High pass, nice leap there by Schreiber, and Hickey now will get credit for his first goal of the night. So Brett Hickey joins the goal scoring party.
And it's shocking that 21 goals, and this is Brett Hickey's first point.
First point?
First point.
Wow.
He gets the goal, and that was Schreiber who flipped the ball over to him, correct?
I believe so. I think he got up on the.
Schreiber.
Yeah, he got the hops, yeah.
Flips it over to him, so Schreiber's got 12 points. I'm pretty sure that's the most he's ever had.
That is nuts.
I'll have to start pulling up the Rock record books.
And Black Wolves will go into the bye week. A long time to think about this. Back February 9 at home versus the Buffalo Bandits, so another important division battle for them.
You know, and as exciting as this, like Schreiber's got 12 points now. I remember the game when Toronto beat Buffalo. I think it was 15-14 or something, and Garrett Billings had 15 points. A point on every goal.
That's crazy. And alone, Jamieson, standing tall. 3:11 to go. Black Wolves want to get at least one more for pride purposes. A turnover by Reinhold, spinning. Rock making a statement to their division rival and to the league in the ever-tightening East Division race, saying, we're for real, watch out.
You know, the interesting thing, too, is that coming into the season with Hellier back healthy and Adam Jones on the roster, everyone was expecting Toronto to have an explosive offense. It just didn't materialize. The first 2 games, they scored an average of 9 goals offensively. Not a lot was going right. And then they made a few moves, and, you know, from the third game on, this offense has been exactly what we thought it would be and more.
It has been fireworks. And New England in. Tic-tac, couldn't complete the toe to Kyle Buchanan. Buchanan in on Cree. Shot clock violation for the Black Wolves. But the future is bright, and this season is still bright for the New England Black Wolves. Glenn Clark, head coach, was telling us that he's been so impressed with rookies Joachim and Watkinson. Their lacrosse IQ, adopting the game quicker than expected at the pro level. That's always a good sign.
Yeah, you know, and I talked to him in the preseason, and he pretty much told me what he expected, and he's seen what he's expected.
No doubt.
But if, you know, when we spoke to him before the game, we said, is there any surprises? And it's exactly what you said. He's surprised at how quickly they've adapted.
In low, and Rose has just been spectacular. Another save by Nick Rose, who entered the game behind Aaron Bold in save percentage, 4th in the league. He surely will have leapfrogged him in that one. After the weekend, we'll see how high he gets. Still 2 other games tonight around the NLL. You can check it all out at NLL.com and on NLLTV.com. 1:07 to go. The Black Wolves have been peppered with 64 shots, and they've delivered 54 of their own. Last minute of play in the ball game. And some jawing here. Watkinson, the rookie, and Brett Hickey.
The game is still going on, though.
Still going on. And crease violation, didn't get through.
Yeah, he put it in the net, but he was walking through the crease as he did it.
And Shanny, whenever you see any pushing or shoving, you always have to keep an eye on when number 91, Billy Hostrauser, will show up. I called the shot a couple weeks ago. Or earlier in the year when you had that first tilt.
I would suggest at this point in the game,
let it go. Let it go.
They don't want it to happen.
No. 32 seconds left. Rock with possession in front of their own bench. They'll try that wind down, tossing it into the near corner. Bounces into the crowd. And the Rock looking for win number 4 in a row and to take first place in the East Division. 11 seconds left, New England with the ball, looking for one more for pride. High and a save by Rose. 6 seconds left. Brody Merrill has a stick chop. 3 seconds, another stop, and it is over. The Toronto Rock, 21-9 winners over the New England Black Wolves. They improved to 4-2. The Black Wolves fall to the same record, and Toronto now sits alone on top of the East in first place. Wow. What a game, what a finish. And Shanny, when you look at all the goal scoring, 5 goals by Adam Jones, 5 by Tom Schreiber, 4 by Rob Hellier, pairs by others. But Nick Rose deserves a lot of credit. He was sensational.
Yeah, and again, it's going to get lost in the score how well Nick Rose played. Particularly that 4th quarter, didn't allow a goal. But, it's not the ending I expected. And we said throughout the game, Toronto looked to be the better team, a little bit more explosive, but New England weren't letting them pull away. But the 4th quarter, they pulled away.
Until that 4th quarter.
Yeah.
Until that 4th quarter, they pulled away. And the first, 4 minutes of that 4th quarter seemed like it went on forever. Like it was just goal after
Toronto
goal.
scored 4 goals in the first 2.5 minutes.
Wow.
And even if you look at the score in the game, Toronto outscored New England 3-2. So they're a little bit better first quarter. Sorry.
Right.
7-5 second quarter, 4-2 third quarter, but then 7-0. So,
that's the difference.
They're explosive, and that happens when you've got so many good shooters. Sooner or later, the ball starts going in the net, and at one point in the game, it seemed like the ball was going in the net for from all their good shooters. And on a night that a guy Brett Hickey, former 50-goal scorer, didn't score a goal till the 21st goal of the game.
Well, and Sean Evans held without a goal.
Yeah, and they've got to be very pleased with that. Toronto feels, they told us before the game they feel they match up well against New England. They did a great job in New England in the playoffs last year. They beat them 18-10. They kept Sean Evans in check that game. I don't remember if they shut him out, but they kept him in check. Generally, if you hold Evans to less than 5 points, that's a great night.
A great night.
They held him to 3 assists, no goals, and so that's a spectacular defensive night. But as you said, you got to give some credit to Nick Rose, who is playing some of his best lacrosse right now. But because Toronto's scoring 20 goals a game, I doubt that he's the first, second, and third star.
No, it gets lost.
Yeah.
And that defense, Jamie Dawick, the owner and GM of the Rock, told us before the game, it feels energized with the likes of Challen Rogers, with the likes of Sheldon Burns. So they're aggressive, they can play tight, but they're also explosive. They can create scoring opportunities.
Yeah. Well, right now, everything is going perfect for the Toronto Rock. So they got to like what they're saying. And I think for New England, too, they'll turn the page on this one. They have to. They did with Saskatchewan. They just, sometimes you just got to say, hey, it wasn't our night. That doesn't mean there's not things to be corrected.
Sure.
But you can't dwell on how bad things went, and they've been having a pretty good season. They just beat Rochester back-to-back, but New England's got to think about their next game, who is against Buffalo, and that's a huge game, divisional game. They got to beat Buffalo next week.
Right, and the bad thing for New England, they got a whole week to stew over.
Oh, that's right. They don't play next week. They play 2 weeks from now, so they got a bye week. Yeah,
that's a long time.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes after a bad loss, you need that. Toronto Rock, Jamie Dawick was telling us before the game, when they got off to a terrible start and then they had a bye week, they welcome it, more practices.
Yeah.
When they win 3 in a row at the bye week, they want to say, hey, we don't want it. We want to keep playing.
Keep going. And you hope Stephen LeBlanc, we saw him take an inadvertent knee by Phil Caputo going off the bench, so hopefully no concussion there. He'll have a week to regroup.
Yeah.
And Shandy, you said it. The Black Wolves, they'll turn the page. This team is exceptional, and you can't keep a club like that down with that scoring talent, with the goaltending and the defense down for too long.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe you'd be a little more worried if Sean Evans had one of his greatest games and you still got beat. But you can say, okay, Evans was shut down.
How often is that going to happen?
Yeah, there was a lot of things that happened, and I'm not worried about New England. But the Toronto fans have had some great entertainment here in the last few weeks from this Toronto team, and next week Calgary comes to town. It should be a fun game.
Right, that's a Western rival. Those two clubs always play each other tough, and it's another important game. See if Toronto can try to create some distance for first place.
Absolutely, and you know what? And it also never matters where Toronto or Calgary is in the standings. It's always a tough game. They play each other. It's almost like the Buffalo rivalry, but the East-West Toronto-Calgary rivalry.
Yeah, but out west.
Yeah.
All right, well, Shandy, that'll do it for us from the ACC. We'll be back here next Saturday night when Calgary comes to town. Final score from the Air Canada Centre: Toronto Rock over the New England Black Wolves, 21-9. So for Shanny, for producer Sean Jafernajad, and the whole crew, great job, everybody. We say goodnight from Toronto.